14 transfers today, and you said that you had positions that you wanted to fill, and it appears that you filled them. You have 4 wide receivers coming in, I believe 3 linebackers, 2 long snappers I think I saw on there, a punter. Just kind of talk about in general the group that you brought in and how much, to what degree each of them maybe can help you immediately and maybe down the line, kind of the structure of how that works with these new guys.
Well, I think first of all, we did address a lot of our needs. And as we all know, FCS football, it's not the same as FBS as far as when you have a signing date in February. That's kind of like who you're going to have. Our situation's different because we're going to get transfers. We're going to get 4-year transfers. We're going to get JC transfers. We're going to get other new high school football players. And so we were, I feel very good about the class we recruited that came in February. As you never know about them until they actually get in camp, and I feel very good about the guys we signed. And then on the new guys, we addressed needs, and obviously linebacker was one of them. It's hard for me right now to say exactly who are going to be the guys out of that group that are going to be the ones that are going to help right away. But I feel good about the group we brought in at linebacker. The next thing was receiver. We feel like we need to have competition at wide receiver. We need to have speed at wide receiver. We need to have the capability to force people to have to defend the pass. We've got what we think is the best running back in America. And the problem with that is if he's the best running back in America and we don't have the threat of the pass, then everybody's going to come in the box. So I feel very good about that we've helped ourselves with 4-year transfers and JC transfer wide receivers. Once again, it's a little early for me to comment on who. I've been in this profession long enough that you can get real excited about somebody at the beginning, and it's a little more about consistency. I'd love to revisit this, a little bit later in camp. But I feel very good about the group that we brought in and the competitiveness and the chance that they have to help us. Obviously, when we had an issue with the punter from Australia having some eligibility issues, we needed a punter, and we got a junior college transfer in Jordan Stangler. Feel like he's a good addition. We felt like we needed more depth, and we needed to be bringing up long snapper up through the ranks, and we added Josh Apple, who is from right around the territory of our rival Illinois State. And matter of fact, his mom works at Illinois State. But I feel like he is a real good addition and somebody that we needed.
As far as the receivers are concerned, you mentioned speed. Was there any, in terms of the competition you want to create, was there any one attribute in the newcomers that you brought in that added to that competition? You mentioned speed, but was there any need or any kind of trait that you were looking for? Of those
I'd say
guys?
a combination of speed, and I don't know if this is a word, but physicality. A guy, physical receivers, and we got a little bit of size in that group. So I think those are all things that we were looking for. And the thing that it's exciting is that I think the guys that are already in the program, it's a little bit of a shocker to them to see that those guys come in. But I think it's helped the competition, and it's helped them step their game up, which is going to help us.
I don't know if you've addressed this since I haven't. I had my first official practice in a media capacity, but I noticed Donald Spencer wasn't on the receiver list. Can you address his situation, and then also any other, if you haven't already, any other departures from spring ball that may have occurred since?
Donald Spencer is no longer with us. I won't go into detail about why, but he was dismissed from the team.
Okay. Anybody else since the spring in any of the positions?
Right now, I can't think of anybody right offhand. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I can't think of anybody.
Fair enough. Talk about today, kind of, a tale of two weather practices anyway. You got a downpour about, a little past the midway point. Talk about, throws a little bit of a wrinkle into it, but you gotta play in those conditions, and, just talk about today's practice and how you felt it went.
One thing that I felt our team, I was very pleased with how we dealt with weather situations in the spring. We had some extreme weather. We had snow. We had some really, really bad rain. Like one day where it was like the most rain I've ever been in my life, when I've been outside. And so, I think we kind of carried through that today. I think we were able to practice through it. We got a lot done in it. The one thing I was disappointed in, though, that we've got to deal with, and I'm glad it happened, and that's the great thing about being able to practice in weather, was center quarterback exchange. We had some center quarterback exchange issues, and that tends to happen in wet weather situations, and I think it was good for us to encounter that, and we're gonna work on that, in wet ball situations. I think one of the things I've said every day, and it's interesting because you haven't heard it, but I've been saying how great our weather is and how, we've had like cool, great days, and the weather's been great. And really today was no different in the how warm it was and cool it was, or whatever you want to call it, and the fact that the sun, never really came out, during practice. But it was the first time we've had adverse weather conditions, and we had rain today, and it was good for us to experience.
What is the injury situation kind of across the